All right, so imagine this. A mother, she's exhausted, desperate, nowhere safe, and just barely getting by. She sees another mother, looks like a nice lady, holding a newborn baby. When that new mother turns her back, the first mother sneaks over, swaps her own baby for the other one, and then just leaves the original baby behind.
Wow. That's harsh.
I know, right? Cold, right? You're probably thinking, man, that's a messed up human drama going on right there. But guess what? This actually happens in nature, like all the time. It's a classic cuckoo bird move. Female cuckoo sneaks into a warbler's nest. Textbook switcheroo.
And it really sets the scene for what we're diving into today. Cheating. Not just the stuff we humans get up to, but like cheating across the entire biological world.
Exactly. I mean, when you say cheating, most folks, they think, oh, like someone's being unfaithful or breaking the rules of a game or maybe even like financial scams. Yeah, that's all cheating for sure. But in biology, it's way bigger than that.
Way bigger, yeah. For biologists, cheating can be any action an organism takes to benefit itself, even if it means another organism loses out. Especially when, you'd expect some kind of cooperation.
And get this, they don't even have to be doing it on purpose. Like that cuckoo bird. It's not like she's got some evil plan. It's just her chick gets raised by another species, often, at the expense of the warbler's own babies. And bam, that's biological cheating in action.
And we see these sorts of sneaky tactics all over the animal kingdom. It's like evolution is constantly running these experiments, pushing the limits on how far you can bend the rules of cooperation to get ahead.
So this deep dive, it's not just about birds being bad. It's about taking this idea of cheating, this broader definition, and looking at it everywhere. Animals, sure, but also plants, and they can be seriously sneaky. Fungi, total tricksters. And even like the microscopic world, bacteria, viruses.
And even inside our own bodies, down to the level of our cells and genes, there's cheating going on.
It's crazy to think about, right? Now, we're going to be using the word cheating a lot. I mean, we could say lying or deceiving. But for today, cheating covers it all. It's all about how organisms gain an unfair advantage in the game of life. So, ready to see some of these cheaters in action? Let's start with the animal kingdom, where some of the most blatant examples are right out in the open.
Oh, absolutely. It's a jungle out there. You got monkeys, right? Sneaking off for some secret mating action, trying to avoid the alpha male. Possums, well, we all know their classic move, playing dead, dodging a predator with dramatic performance.
It's Oscar-worthy, really, and birds, those false alarm calls. Not a real threat, just a way to scare rivals away from a good food source. Keep all the good stuff for themselves.
Oh, and then there are the masters of disguise. Chameleons blending right into their surroundings.
Yeah.
Visual trickery at its finest.
Stickleback fish, too. They'll actually lead cannibalistic fish, like their own species, away from their nests. Like a misdirection play, right? Then you've got caterpillars mimicking snakes with those big fake eyes. Anything that wants to eat them, instant second thoughts.
And the squid. Classic moving cloud, total smokescreen for a quick getaway.
So many sneaky moves. It's mind-blowing how diverse these strategies are, each one perfectly tuned to take advantage of some weakness or opportunity in their environment. But, like you said earlier, cheating. It's not just for those with brains and nerves. Even plants, no neurons, no problem. They've got their own devious tactics.
Oh yeah, plants are full of surprises. We tend to think of them as just kind of sitting there, but they're playing the game too. Yeah. Orchids, for example. Lots of them mimic food smells to lure in pollinators. But there's this one group, I don't know, maybe 400 species, they take it way further.
Way further, yeah. These orchids, they don't just mimic the smell, they mimic the look of female insects. Imagine that. A male insect looking for a mate, he runs into this flower, it's like a perfect copy. Scent, looks, it's a bold strategy.
Bold, yeah. And some of them, they even stop the male insect from, finishing the job.
So this poor insect, he's flying around frustrated, hitting up one fake female after another, and all the while, he's spreading the orchid's pollen. Super effective, but kind of mean, right?
Total manipulation.
Yeah.
And it's not just the orchids. Fungi are in on the cheating game, too.
Yeah.
Take truffles, for instance, those delicious, pricey things. They produce this compound, androstenol, and guess what? It's basically a boar pheromone mimic.
To us, it smells, I don't know, earthy, musky, but for female pigs, oh man, it drives them wild. They think they found themselves a handsome boar and they start digging like crazy to find him.
It's hilarious, right? These pigs, totally fooled, digging to the forest floor, and the truffle. All it's doing is spreading its spores. No effort, just pure deception.
So we've seen cheating in animals, plants, fungi, it's everywhere, right? But it gets even smaller, doesn't it? Like down to the level of single-celled organisms.
You bet. Let's talk about slime mold. Dictyostelium discoideum, or DICTY for short. Now, when food gets scarce, these little amoeba cells, they do something amazing. They get together and they form a slug, a moving slug.
Like right out of a sci-fi movie, right?
Exactly. And this slug, it finds a good spot and turns into a fruiting body. Think like a lollipop or a maraca. And it's got this ball on top filled with spores and a stalk underneath. The cells in the head, about 80% of them, they're the lucky ones. They get to disperse and reproduce when there's food again.
And the other 20%, the stalk cells.
Well, they drew the short straw. Their job is to lift that spore-filled head up high so the wind can carry the spores away. But once they've done that, they're done. No more. Evolutionary dead end.
So, question for our listeners. If you were a slime mold cell, where would you rather be? In the head, passing on your genes, or in the stalk, sacrificing yourself? It's a no-brainer, right? For an evolutionary perspective.
Totally. It's all about getting your genes into the next generation. Now, when all the slime mold cells are the same, genetically, it doesn't really matter who ends up where. But things get interesting when you have different cell types in the mix. Different genes.
Right. That's when the competition heats up. It's like a cellular battle royale to be part of that spore-filled head.
Right.
And as you can imagine, some cells, they play dirty.
Oh, yeah. They've got genetic tricks that help them end up in the head more often, like cellular gerrymandering.
Yeah.
And once they're there, they might even produce toxins to keep others out. Scientists have found over 100 mutant genes involved in this slime mold cheating game. It's wild.
So from slime mold, let's go even smaller. Bacteria. These tiny things, they often team up to form biofilms, basically a slimy layer where they can work together, like gathering nutrients.
Yeah, like iron. Super important for them, but often hard to come by. So they got to cooperate to get enough.
And they do it by releasing these chemical signals, right? Trigger certain genes to make these things called cytophores, like tiny grappling hooks. They go out and snag any iron they can find. A communal effort, like a big fishing net.
Exactly. But there's a cost, right?
Yeah.
Making these cytophores takes energy and resources. It's an investment for a bacterium.
And that's where the cheaters come in. Once those cytophores are out there, it's a free-for-all. Everyone benefits from the iron, even those who didn't help make the cytophores, like that one person in a group project who does nothing but still takes the credit.
We all know that person. And if too many bacteria start slacking off, the whole system crashes. Less iron, everyone suffers. So the honest bacteria, they've had to evolve ways to fight back. Some stick with their close relatives, forming exclusive clubs. Others actually produce toxins to take out the freeloaders.
So even at the microscopic level, it's a constant battle to keep things fair. Incredible. And this whole cheating thing, it doesn't even stop at organisms, right? It goes down to things that aren't even really alive.
That's right. Viruses, they can't reproduce on their own. They need to hijack a host cell's machinery. So in a way, their whole existence is based on cheating the system.
And they even cheat each other, right?
Oh, yeah. When different viruses infect the same cell, things can get messy. Their genes and resources get mixed up. Some viruses, they can basically become freeloaders. They steal stuff from the other viruses without having to carry the genes for it themselves. Defective, but still replicating, by exploiting the honest viruses.
It's like a virus within a virus. It's mind-boggling. So we've seen cheating between organisms, but it also happens within an individual, right? Like inside our own bodies.
Absolutely. Think about cancer cells. They're basically rogue cells. Ignore all the rules, gobble up resources, multiply out of control, and refuse to die when they're supposed to. It's like a cellular mutiny. Fighting cancer is, in many ways, fighting cheating cells.
And it goes deeper, right? Down to the chromosomes and genes in our cells.
You got it. You've got these things called B chromosomes. Unlike our regular chromosomes, the A chromosomes, which carry all the essential genes, these B chromosomes are smaller and, well, they're kind of mysterious. They don't seem to do much of anything useful, but they get copied and passed on during cell division. Like party crashers, just along for the ride.
Freeloaders, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's all that junk DNA we hear about. Like 98% of our DNA is supposedly junk.
Right. But it's not just random stuff. It includes things like repeated elements, pseudogenes, basically broken genes that don't work anymore but still get copied and transposable elements. You might know them as jumping genes.
Jumping genes. They literally cut themselves out and paste themselves somewhere else in the genome, right?
Yep. Copy and paste. And they've been super successful. They make up about 45% of the human genome. Like the alu element. It's copied itself over 1 million times in our lineage and now makes up over 10% of our DNA.
That's a lot of copies.
Yep.
Makes our genome sound kind of chaotic. Like salamanders have way bigger genomes than us, right? Is that because of all this extra DNA?
Exactly. They've got roughly the same number of useful genes as we do, but their genomes are huge, packed with these self-replicating elements.
So usually these jumping genes are harmless, right? But sometimes they cause trouble.
Yeah, sometimes one lands right in the middle of an important gene and messes it up. Can lead to genetic defects like cancer or hemophilia. Just bad luck, really.
So you've got these mobile bits of DNA, and then there are even more aggressive, selfish genes, like outlaw genes.
These are the real rebels. Take segregation disorders or meiotic drivers, found in fruit flies, for instance. These genes have figured out a way to rig the system during sperm production. They basically sabotage any sperm that carry different versions of themselves.
So instead of a 50-50 chance of inheritance, they're loading the dice in their favor.
Yeah.
And if they happen to be on the sex chromosomes, they can even mess with the sex ratio of the offspring.
Right. And then there are converting elements. They basically code for enzymes that cut DNA and paste themselves into the break. Super aggressive self-promotion.
Kind of like that doctor we talked about earlier, the one who used his own sperm for artificial insemination.
Exactly the same idea. These converting elements ignore the normal rules. They can even jump into the genomes of other species and get this ability to cut and paste DNA. It's the basis for CRISPR gene editing.
Wow. So these outlaw genes, these jumping genes, they're all just looking out for themselves, even if it hurts the organism. Makes you rethink those basic biology lessons, huh?
For sure. Biology is messy. And these selfish genetic elements, they show just how common it is for things to break the rules. But this cheating thing, it's not just a quirk, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere, from tiny single-celled organisms to complex creatures like us. And it happens between individuals and within a single organism. It's kind of humbling, really.
It is. But when we think about cheating, lying, deceiving, we humans, we have this strong moral reaction. We value honesty. We hate being cheated.
Right, like that thought experiment with Socrates. He chose execution over escaping by bribing the jailer. Shows how much we value honesty, even in extreme situations. Makes you think, what would you do in that situation?
It's a tough question. And it highlights the difference between us and the natural world. Animals, they're not making sacrifices for honesty. As we've seen, cheating's just a part of life.
So why is it so common in nature if we humans see it as such a bad thing?
Well, evolution doesn't care about morals. It cares about survival and reproduction, what we call Darwinian fitness. It doesn't judge. If a trait, even a cheating trait, helps an organism pass on its genes, evolution favors it.
So it's not about good or bad, it's about what works.
Exactly. And sometimes not cheating can actually be a disadvantage. If cheating would give you a big boost in survival or reproduction, evolution might weed you out if you don't do it. It's a tough concept for us to swallow with our human morality, but that's how it works.
But cheating isn't just a result of evolution, right? It also drives evolution forward.
Absolutely. It creates this pressure to adapt. When one organism cheats, the victim has to evolve a defense, and then the cheater evolves a counter-defense. It's an arms race.
Like those rhizobia bacteria that live in legume roots. They're supposed to be helpful, fixing nitrogen for the plant, and the plant gives them food and shelter. But some rhizobia cheat, they don't fix much nitrogen.
And the plants fight back. They can detect those cheaters and cut off their food supply. It's a constant back and forth, this pressure to either out-cheat or defend against cheaters. And all this leads to more diversity and complexity.
Amazing. And it's funny, this whole cheating thing, it wasn't always a big focus in evolutionary biology. Even Darwin didn't really talk about it much.
Yeah, he mentioned deceive a few times, mostly about mimicry, like insects evolving to look like dangerous ones. But this bigger idea, cheating as a driving force, it wasn't really central to his work.
And I think that's why we often see evolution as this super competitive dog-eat-dog thing, survival of the fittest, but in a brutal way. And it overshadows the role of cooperation and all these sneaky ways organisms can gain an edge.
Right. And it makes you rethink things like animal societies. Bonobos, for instance. Their social skills are more important than their strength. And cheating definitely plays a role there. Who to trust, who's trying to manipulate you. It's all part of the evolutionary pressure.
So with humans, it's even more complex, right? Our intelligence takes this cheating game to a whole new level. It's not just biological anymore, it's cultural.
Exactly. We've got this arms race going on, but it's happening in our culture, in our ideas. And cheating, in a weird way, it can drive progress. It forces us to come up with new ways to detect and prevent it. And that can lead to innovation in art, science, technology, even religion.
So cheating, this thing we think of as bad, it can actually be a source of creativity. That's kind of mind-blowing.
In a way, yes. But it's important to remember we're not glorifying cheating. It causes real harm, and trust is what holds our societies together.
Right. And it's not like we're going to eliminate cheating. It's been around forever, and it's getting more complex with all the new technology and scams. So what can we do about it?
Well, that's where understanding the evolution of cheating can help. It's this constant back and forth.
Mhm.
We're not doomed to always be one step behind the cheaters.
By learning how cheating works, we might find ways to combat it, especially in this digital age. The book that inspired this deep dive, it goes into all this. The rules of animal cheating, the benefits of honesty, how cheating can even lead to new traits. And then it dives into human cheating, self-deception, and the ethics of it all.
It's all about showing that cheating, this seemingly negative force, it can actually be a catalyst. It's helped create the diversity and complexity we see around us. And by understanding it, maybe we can find better ways to deal with it.
So to wrap up this deep dive into the world of cheating, it's clear that cheating is everywhere. It shapes life at every level, from bacteria to humans. It drives evolution and even our culture. It's a constant game of adaptation and counter-adaptation.
Makes you think, right? If cheating's so common in nature, does it change how we view trust and honesty in our own lives? And can we use this knowledge to build better systems, to protect ourselves from harmful deception?
Those are big questions. And if you're interested in exploring them further, check out fields like evolutionary biology, behavioral ecology, the psychology of deception. There's a whole world of knowledge out there. But for now, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.